All right, thank you so much. As you join, you make sure you share so that we can have some other people on board. So please, let's share and invite, as you all are aware, this is a new page. We're still really trying to build it, and so we thank people who always join in. Once you join, just write to us where you're watching from. If it's Germany, let us know. It's very important. And then, of course, we'll take it from there. So, in the meantime, I should start this show in like 2 minutes maximum, or thereabout. Once we have quite a very impressive number there already, and so it's simple. Thank you so much as you join in. Let's get everybody on board, all right? Okay, so in 1 minute or thereabout, I'm going to start the show, bring up the topics, what I want to talk about today, which of course, I'm sure that nobody is stranger to the announcement yesterday from U.S. authorities. And so we remain very focused on our goal, and I will address that issue very succinctly, and of course I will explain to our grandfathers the need to remain powerful and resilient and remain focused on the goal. And that is why, if you look at it, I live here in the United States. I do business here. For those of us who are activists, we are at the greatest risk to keep ourselves, the possibility to push us to keep ourselves from saying some of the things that the regime does not want to hear. It starts here, because this is our shelter, this is where we're protected. And we have advised severally for the need for people to remain extra careful, because there are areas in revolutions, and we are pushing towards a new phase of the revolution. And so we need everybody who is contributing positively to do their little bit. I'm also going to talk about the situation with the refugees, where, you and I, we have an obligation to the refugees. That is a fact. And of course, especially those that people have been contributing money to them. So we cannot see people do things for refugees when they have collected a lot of money, and it's something like it's news. It's not politics. All right, Ambazonia is not for politicians, and so we have to make sure that we bring all of these things. And then also, like I said, about the politics in the revolution, where people are struggling to claim responsibility or credits for things that are happening on the ground for one reason, because they don't work, and so if they don't claim responsibility, people will not contribute to their groups. So this is not the time to claim responsibility. This is the time to do what is going to push Ambazonia out of colonization, out of the forgery of La Republique to Cameroon. Okay, now, thank you so much. Once you join, you share to various groups. My name is Eric Tato, and of course, I'm recording this video from my residence in Lanham, Maryland, on Tuesday, June 8th, 2021, which is just a few days to my birthday. My birthday is going to be on June 14th. And I want to say this very clearly. You all know this is a new National Telegraph page where I've created and I've hyphenated National Telegraph NT, because the original National Telegraph page has been taken off, which is fine. And you see, the strength of an activist is to see how people replicate his pages and stuff like that. As soon as the Cameroon authorities and all their surrogates noticed that we've created a new page, because they were happy, thinking that, oh, he's gone out of social media, absolutely. Well, of course, during that period, it helped me to recalculate a lot of things. They immediately, when I created a new page, they immediately created some fake pages, which I've already announced. So, listen, there is only one National Telegraph NT, which of course already has over 3,000 followers. Anything below that is not National Telegraph NT. Secondly, we have National Telegraph Africa, which has quite a good number of following. And we don't have no National Telegraph group. There is nothing like a National Telegraph group. So this is the only page, and this is where I come live. My name is Eric Tato. I'm the CEO of National Telegraph. I'm also an activist. And so we have to be clear, because when you own a media organ, your first responsibility is to be fair to everybody and to speak the truth, and also especially to protect the minority population while you're also discriminating against the majority population. Every card should be on the table. Now, yesterday, the U.S. government through its Secretary General, has announced visa restrictions for those who are not going to be facilitating or allowing or trying to disturb peaceful resolution of the Anglophone crisis in Cameroon. Now, there are a lot of things that are important in that declaration or that announcement from the US government, which I'm probably going to read right now before I begin to analyze it. But the first thing I want to tell everybody who is from the English-speaking regions of Cameroon, which we call aka Ambazonian, or the northern and south of Cameroon, or Anglophone Cameroon, whatever way you call it, I think that we have explained many times that the name issue should not be our problem. We are Ambazonians, we are people from northwest and southwest, whatever way you call us, it is very, very important that you know one thing in mind. Your focus is to get back our country from the colonizer. My name is Eric Tato. And I want to tell the US government that we, the people of Southern Cameroon, we are not worried about the announcement for many reasons. And all Southern Cameroonians, including those of us who are in the US, want to tell the US government that we are happy with that measure. That is why, repeatedly, I have told everybody who is of Ambazonia that this is a country that can push the Cameroon government and Cameroonian warring authorities, because those people are warmongers that can push them into a sensible dialogue and negotiation. That is why I've asked that, what are you running to do in other countries like Switzerland and the rest of those countries when you are here in the US and this is the field of diplomacy? It's the same thing I ask people, a lot of people, like a businessman, I'll divert from time to time. I ask people that, how do you work your first $20,000 in the United States? And your first calculation, you are running to buy a land in Cameroon, when you are leaving the biggest economy in the world to invest in it. So let us all know one thing. This is America, and this is where it starts, and most often it ends here. This is the most powerful country in the world. And that is why everybody that has played diplomacy here has won. For example, those of the coalition for dialogue and negotiation. Most of the things you see happening, it is because of their works. Anybody going out, you cannot live in the US, you're going out to do negotiation, going out to look for other countries to come and help you. When you are here, if you're a taxpayer here, you should be demanding the government to add restrictions. Now, let me go back to the crux of the matter. Why no Ambazonians should be afraid? Number one, because we Ambazonians don't have the capacity to call for negotiations. Yes, we don't have. So those who are disturbing negotiations, they are the Cameroon government and Cameroon authorities who have used the war to fatten their stomachs and their bank accounts. So no Ambazonians should be afraid. Your first responsibility is to defend yourselves. And that's why sometimes when I see I see a few midgets on social media say, oh, Eric is a Republican, look at them, I say they are crazy. Because this Eric is the only person who still tells Ambazonians, and I'm going to tell them on this platform, that no Ambazonian fighter should drop their weapon regardless of the announcement from the US government. You have the responsibility to defend yourselves. Who is the invader? The invader is the Cameroon government. And so the US government has made a general statement, but we have to redefine it and reanalyze it for the US government to understand. Of course, they have a lot of information, but we must reiterate the position of the Ambazonian people. Cameroon invaded Southern Cameroons. Cameroon invaded Ambazonia, and we are defending ourselves. There's no way you can come to my house with a gun and allow you to kill my wife, my children, my brothers, my sisters. No! I have to take you out from the door. That is the rule of self-defense. So there is going to be no visa restriction for any Ambazonian. The visa restriction will be for Cameroonian authorities who have locked our people in jails, in their jails. Cameroonian authorities who are sending their soldiers to go to our villages, from Kwakwa to Bafut, to Bamenda, to Boya, to Bomaka, to Munya, to all those areas to kill our people. And there is no way you can accept that you are in a Bunji, and then a Cameroon soldier enters your village, kills your mother, rapes your sister, and you look at them. No! You are not the one perpetrating violence. You are only doing self-defense against the person who is bringing violence to your area. So all the fighters from the BLM to wherever, I know after this probably this page will no longer exist. This is what they do to Eric Tato. I'm probably the only activist that they delete every time. That's fine. But when they delete me, I stay some people stay and say, oh, he's not coming to talk again because the Cameroon government has done this and that and that. None of you Ambazonians can still nurse the courage to stay in the US, and despite the restrictions and the things that the US government is saying, and you still come and talk like this. I've lost my business page because of this struggle. And that is why we remain focused on ignoring those who take 10 days on social media to talk about prisoners who are eating Garri. So we must remain focused, fellow countrymen. This is the time to win. We have won already. It is going to take us a couple of years before the wicked government comes to the table, but Cameroon must come to the table. And there's only one way we are going to do that. Keep on defending ourselves. We don't produce weapons. We don't produce nothing. We only pick some little weapons to defend ourselves. If the US government, of course, they know. They should not only impose visa restrictions, they should freeze accounts of these thief-free Cameroon ministers in Switzerland. Make sure that their children don't come to this country. All of those things should be done. Because Ambazonians, first of all, we did not declare this war. The person who declared the war is Paul Biya Vondo. He is the first person to call off the war and then pack and leave our territory. Listen, let me tell you something. This is so crucial. And you see, this war, the Ambazonian independence movement, is personal to me because we are 8 million. But there's nobody who can deny the fact that one man that has defied the government and that is being prayed that he should die every day is this Eric Kato. Despite the fact that we have some agents provocateurs from the Ambazonian end, which of course complete the ecosystem. Because if we didn't have them, the revolution will not be interesting. It will not be interesting. So we must stay focused. This is the time. That announcement from the US government should not deter us. Our determination is to defend our land. We don't have nothing to do with the invaders. They are the people who have something to do with us. We didn't create them as enemies. They declared us enemies. So that is very important. Please, if you are joining and you have not shared, make sure you share. This is most important. So no Ambazonian should be afraid. I'm here. I'm still telling you that keep defending yourselves. From any part of southern Cameroon, do not allow anybody to come there and harm you without you defending yourselves. Please. Do not drop your weapons. Hold them. Make sure you defend yourselves. Self-defense, listen. Self-defense is a universal human right. And the US government is aware. But while we carry out the act of self-defense, please avoid terrorizing the population. Kidnappings must stop. Those are the little things that can actually, corrupt the image of our beautiful independence movement. So those are the things that are important. Avoid those who are making noise on Facebook and trying to defend leaders who stole money. That one is also very crucial. There is no fighting on Facebook between Ambazonians. There are only a few surrogates, lazy, jobless youths who have seen the revolution as where they can defend leaders to earn money. Listen, I want to say this and I'll say it repeatedly. The issue of infighting is a kind of fictitious ideology. It's an idea that does not even exist to me. Because people, listen, if all the leaders, from Sapo to Ayaba, those who call themselves leaders, let me put that way, to Akwanga to Bo Herbert, all of them, if they had good jobs, that they got up, when they get up in the morning, they end their jobs earn them over $10,000 a month at least. They will not have soldiers defending them because they stole money, because they will have the money. The reason why you have this infighting, all this politicking, is because these guys are jobless. That is why the revolution in the diaspora has, as a matter of fact, has no leadership. It has only armed robbers who are concentrating on defrauding the people. Listen, I'm serious about this. There is no infighting. Reason why those on the ground must concentrate on defending the ground and forget about armed robbers and revolutionary politicians in the diaspora. It is very, very important. Look at, for example, go to Meme, go to Mezamanyo, everywhere. You see, those who are defending the homeland, They don't affiliate themselves to either Ayaba or Sako or anybody. General, no pity. They say that they are this or this. They don't say this money is given to me by this person. But before they even come to say it, these thieves in the diaspora, these are even the people that they should be placing visa restriction on. These thieves in the diaspora, what do? They come out there to claim the credit. Say, oh, there's a people who did this. They start asking for contribution. Let me tell you something. Let them create businesses, work like some of us in this country, and they will free themselves from economic slavery. So our revolution is on track. And I will not cease talking about jobless people who think they can lead 8 million people. You cannot lead me if you don't work. There is no way I can be a businessman and earn a lot of money more than you. All 10 of them, probably who call themselves leaders. Kometa, Bohebed, Sako, Ayaba, all of them, jobless, they don't work. You cannot lead people when you don't work. There is no way you can be jobless. There is no leader on earth, including Jesus Christ, that was not working. Jesus Christ the father was a carpenter. He went there from time to time to help the father. So let all of us stay focused. Forget about this arm robber. That's why you see people. I saw some surrogates of this other arm robber here in Maryland. They say, "Oh, he has given stuff to refugees." That's good. Is that enough? That is money that you stole from my trip to Boya many years ago, and now you're struggling to cover all your tracks by creating receipts to show proof that you're giving stuff to refugees. So please, my brothers and sisters, our revolution is built on the principles of honesty, transparency. That is why we're fighting the Cameroon government in the first place. That is why we're fighting the regime in the first place. All Ayabacho, Sako Ikomi, Kometa, Elvis, Born Herbert, let them bring us their payslip where they work. That is why you can even qualify to start talking this revolution. You cannot stay in the US, you have 2 hands, 2 legs, you are not working, you are stealing from the people, bringing fake projects, and then when you take money that you have stolen from people, you go and buy a few bags of rice, you give your surrogates to bring to put your posters and put on Facebook. This is not a political campaign, for God's sake. This is a revolution. Armed robbers are not permitted. It should be clear on this. That is why from today to tomorrow, all those of you making noise that Sako is this or this one is this on WhatsApp, nobody has ever recognized him in this America. Because America does not recognize a jobless person. You cannot file for unemployment, or you don't have a job, or your social security is showing that you are not working, and then you think that the US government can even look at you as a leader. No, it doesn't happen. And why do they keep deceiving you on Facebook and WhatsApp? Because most Ambazonians have become so vulnerable, and I will show you by example. Take for example, you know every tattoo, you know my page, you know what I can do. Then somebody clones something, is saying something that is contrary to my belief. Because you are not seeing me online, you start believing that Eric Tato is the one who wrote that. So the position of this young man stands firm on independence. That is why I am amongst the few leaders in the diaspora who works and earns quite a lot of money, and I don't have interest in anything that concerns money when it comes to Ambazonia. That's why I could stay off 3 months and not say nothing. It doesn't affect me, because during that period I'm recuperating and giving myself enough time to think my business. Please, we will win this war through capitalization, not by leaders who bring one fake program to another. They bring draft, they bring this. It's either they're raising money here or they're doing this. Where is their own individual contributions? Let them show all their historic where they have been working. That is very, very important. Everybody must know that. It's so crucial. I want to be clear. Those of you who write on Facebook and call each of those jobless people president or leader, that is your right. You will never be prevented from doing that, because it is democracy. But the reality is no. And where leaders recognize, listen, Ambazonia has only one leadership. One. There's only one leadership for now in this movement that is bona fide and authentic. And those people are in jail. So when Cameroon government comes out is saying, or the US is saying that they'll do visa restrictions, that is fine. It concerns Cameroon. Cameroon knows where they have started discussions with the people in jail. Let them finish it there, because the people in jail gave them conditions, 3 or 4 points that they have not fulfilled to today. So let us all be clear. Somebody's writing there, Sako is an armed robber. That is no news. He is a certified armed robber. We know that. But so don't waste your time coming on social media and be fighting people or trying to defend people who stole money. This revolution was not meant for people to stay jobless and say that my job is that I'm president of Ambazonia. Which president of which Ambazonia? There is Ambazonia, which of course we are trying to establish. We will not establish Ambazonia by having thieves, armed robbers, hooligans, and naysayers trying to tell us things that we don't understand on WhatsApp and Facebook. How is it possible that you have somebody who has never worked or who is not working? Chris Anu thinks that the revolution now, his job is to come and talk on Facebook. No work. Yes. No work. You pay soldiers to defame patriots like us. But what did we do? We ignored them. They say, oh, we are not talking because they want us. No, you didn't win. We are not talking because we have defeated you. Your match is over. We are looking at the next match. Everybody has understood. In 8 months, 3 months, 3 months, 8 months, 1 year, there will be no contributions to any group. It will be going directly to those people who are defending Hunan. That's what's going to happen. Please, let me be clear with you. If you still take your money and give somebody in the diaspora for the person to help you and send down there when the person himself is not working, take your pen and open your book and write, I am a big fool. Write it, please. Those that call themselves county heads, where are they working? How much are they worth? Armed robbers who cannot pay their rents. You see the point? We know them. What are they doing? Somebody is here, you not even get one toilet for a backsliding block. You say he's county head, he cannot do anything. He's waiting for your money to first of all pay his rent and then struggles to see how he can balance it up. Sometimes they don't even do that. You have seen within them, they're fighting. But we are focused. I told you in my last video that there is no day I'm going to come on Facebook, come and say, oh, I'll claim this thing that I did this, I did that. You have seen what the US is saying. Imagine that if I came there, because they can only hold me responsible for the things I claim. Whatever is happening on the ground, it should be happening, but I'm not claiming any. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing. That is how it's going to be happening. And I avoid any sanction that the US is going to give, but things are happening. Have I claimed anything? No. Revolution, every stage of a revolution, it needs a different strategy. Now is the time for wisdom. Talk less, do more. Today I'm like, I might stay 1 week or 2 weeks, I'm not going to come and talk. Make all the noise. One man remains the Moses, and this is Eric Tato. I've said it, I'm still going to repeat it. Any day that if I die today, the revolution ends today. So God is going to keep me until this war is won. Because the boys everywhere, they need my energy, they need what I say. Look at this page. How many times have they deleted us? That's the point. We are 8 million plus. They're supposed to say, oh, Eric is no longer talking because, hey, there's this, there's that. Why are you not also talking? Don't you have Facebook? Facebook app is free. It's on Google Store. It's on Apple, whatsoever. They are there, they are free. Also download and start talking. Don't wait on, this is on my father's farm. I'm doing my part. And my part, I'm doing it so well, so hard to liberate you. What you do is that you stay in your little corner here. When you want to drink your 5 Heineken, your head is hot, your name you put on the ground is Eric Tato. You stay there, you talk this and that. That's the point. A young man works hard, establishes his company, is moving forward, and then instead of you to call to learn how we can all have this kind of success that Eric Tato has, so that we can build a better Ambazonia, all you see, you start trying to think about, well, I'm not saying you getting money on our way to happen here. I said it before that if you say anything about me, you want to talk about, I got it from your mother's kitchen. What about that? Stay focused. You get the point? It's so easy to be successful in America or anywhere in the world. It depends on your plans, your focus, and your understanding of the system. You're not coming on, some of you spend 20 hours on Facebook and WhatsApp, you sleep for 4 hours. Every day you get up and sleep, zero productivity. When you want to talk, you say, oh, crisis, they back home. Are you the first one to have a crisis? Online, there are a lot of things happening. Be productive. Crisis, they back home, affect you for America where you work. You don't have to work for America, take care for refugees. Those are the things we should be doing. Don't stay on social media, you are making noise. I've told you today, and it's a final declaration. There is no leader in the diaspora. Leaders are in jail and other leaders are on the ground. If you want to be a leader in the diaspora, come down and put 100,000, 500,000. Listen, I'm starting this drive fund for the revolution. That is when I will follow you. Don't wait for people to contribute. You take a man and pay your house rent. You get the point? Yes. Don't wait. Because there is no job in this revolution. There is a job in you working and giving the revolution, not the other way around. So this should be clear. Ambazonia will not and will never be managed by thieves and armed robbers. You pay small chickens to go online and they're making noise. Who has the time? Let me tell you the truth, right? Who has it? Look at now, Bitcoin is down, maybe it was 31,000. All those coins are falling. If you ever have money, you'll be studying those things. You buy today, maybe tomorrow Bitcoin can go up to 35. You make $4,000 within 1 day or 1 hour. Those are the things you should be doing. Look at where you can exploit finance and then pour it into the revolution. Take care of refugees. No, stay online, you are making noise, you are beating your chest. When the revolution needed people to beat their chest, we did that. We drummed our chest and we made sure that the ground was panicking. Right now, that strategy has passed, so you are selling after the market. Now, what I'm doing now is revitalizing the voice on the ground and reassuring Ambazonians not to get afraid. So, armed robbers have no place in this revolution. I've said it repeatedly. Samuel Komisako has no job. He can never lead nobody. That is why he ends on WhatsApp. The same with Ayabacho, Akwanga, Bohembe, all of them. John Baku, who just came now, is working. Yes. So they should get jobs. Even Food Johnson is also working. I will not say a lie. Why are the others not working? And you come, you say you're a leader? Leader, where are you a leader? You cannot lead a job, a small job in the US. You don't have a job, you are waiting for people to continue for you to eat. You are waiting for people to continue for you to buy dresses. Listen, my turn natural. All now, when I suppose Sako, when I'm not a normal. And it is okay. You have the right. But to us who are patriots, we understand the game and we know how we work with it. So we are not bothered about what you say on WhatsApp. Have you seen me reply to people who come and say, oh, he's president, that's his business. He's president to those people on WhatsApp. But to the US government, to any other government, he's not leader in any revolution. He's not known. And most of them, all of them in the US, Akwanga, Bohebe, they don't know them because their social security is inactive. Those are criminals, tutorial criminals, very certified ones. So don't be afraid, Ambazonians. Your revolution is back on track. And there's nobody who can take it away from you. Not the US government, not the Cameroonian government, not the thieves who call themselves leaders in the diaspora. We are defending ourselves. And we must keep defending ourselves. We will defend our pockets from armed robbers who are claiming to be leaders. We will defend our land from the Cameroon government. And we will defend our rights by explaining to the US government why we keep defending ourselves. Because Cameroon is the invader. That is the fight. Our movement is ideological. You cannot, listen, let me tell you something. I want to blame, in the most polite way, some of my followers who took 1 minute of their time to even reply to people who make comments about prisoners eating Garri in jail. You did not have to. It was a waste of time. I saw it, I followed it, and I laughed because that was a declaration of physical insanity. For anybody to come out and a prisoner is eating Garri, you make a show where you come and say, oh, you're calling me. No, you know, I said, reply what? You know what you're saying? Me, Eric Tato, CEO of Jimpus and Incorporation in America and National Therapy LLC, come and reply somebody who's talking about Garri. I started the Garri process in the revolution. Garri is so powerful that prisoners eat and people make live shows. That is why Garri shut down CDC, shut down PAMO, shut down most offices. We have passed that stage. Now let them use it for the purpose of uselessing themselves on Facebook. Please, my people, stay very firm. I'm with you. Expect to see me less on Facebook because the fight is no longer on Facebook. Facebook will just be there to make sure that we can, because of course you know they are taking us out. Where's Mark Barretta? Mark Barretta is struggling on Twitter. They deleted him everywhere because they know the stronghold of this revolution. They know those who are the bumper. They know those who are the shock absorbers. They are taking us out. Have you never, why are you not asking yourself, why is it that they have never deleted these other guys? Because there's nothing they say that panics the government. And the government is not bothered about those who are supporting Sako, all those chickens in the name of activists. What do they say? When you come and say, oh, this man is president, this man is this. Can they ask somebody that if you come out and go down, this will happen to you? They cannot do that. And even they do it, who is scared? But now I don't even say it. It's just happening. So let's be calm. Let's remain strategic and avoid all these young heads on Facebook who come and defend thieves, and they're only insisting. Why are you insisting that this man is president? Who is fighting with him? He's president in your meeting. That's fine. Every revolution is bound to have factions, but we know. And you cannot say that because I think that the president you are calling president is not my own president, or I don't support him because he's a thief. You say, oh, he's a Republican, stuff like that. If you see that Republican, you recognize it. I want to ask you, tell me one day or one thing that Eric has done that is contrary to the ideology of this revolution. Who is the one talking here that people should keep their guns? Me. Everyone I know that this speech can still be taken down. Tomorrow you come and you are making noise. So the rule is simple, right? There is not politics in the revolution. I've named all of them. I still challenge, even those of you ADF, I challenge you to ask the right questions to your people you call your leaders. Ask when they call Dr. Cho, that Dr. Cho, where do you work? Please, can we see your pay slip? Ask me, go to my WhatsApp. Yesterday I published some of my bank statements from Navy Federal and West Fargo. I can publish anything, anytime. It's my stuff. Because I'm launching my car rental on the 27th of this month. I'm also launching 4 other departments. I'm building a social media like Facebook. So one of the departments I'm launching is called Dimple's Business Consultancy, where I'm going to help people create their businesses, help them build human capital, and get them good investments. I know this. I know the way it works. And so yesterday I put something on my status on both. If you go to Eric, to Tato Eric, which is my Facebook page, you'll see it on my status. You'll see what I wrote. And on my WhatsApp, I even put some of my bank statements. Partially what I'm worth. Because if you want to teach people how to make money, you have to show them this is what you have. So tell these people, if Ambazonians demand to see my bank statement, my transaction, you see them. How I do transaction, people pay for this, people pay for. That's it. So you see it. So it's not something, that is what leaders are supposed to do. America is not supposed to ask presidents to declare their assets. For some of you black people, when somebody says that he's worth this, you start getting angry. Say, oh, you're proud. Which is the proud? So Jeff Bezos, they declare the assets. Jeff Bezos is going to the space. He already announced it on Instagram. Is he proud? No, he's advertising his product. So all of us should understand. Declaration of assets is the most essential thing that all these armed robbers in Ambazonians should be doing. Don't come and say, you are what this. Show us the transactions. Like I've shown. Show us the transactions. I can still show some here. Show the transactions. So there is no way, yes. There is no way you can sit and they just say, oh no. Anytime, this is Bank of America. I can show you, you see all the transactions, who is buying what I'm buying and what I'm not buying. Everybody, the same. So any leader who wants to be talking in this revolution, show us what you have been doing. My old friend Tapan made that noise. I brought my paychecks and he stayed quiet. I'm the only leader that has presented his paychecks many times in this revolution. Because that is called transparency. You cannot have armed robbers making noise and paying people from people's contribution and blood to be calling them presidents. No. All of you, listen, it's not a bad question, right? What is wrong? Ask your leader. Hey, Dr. Cho, what do you work? Where are you working? Can we see your, do you ask those questions? Some of you are Kwanga, all of them. How jobless people, you want to lead a revolution when you're, listen, let me tell you something. This war of independence is still in the process. Cameroon knows we are defeating them. But then, let me tell you, sincerely, they are not going to come from negotiation just right away. But they will come. But how long is it going to be? It's going to come. But then in the next 1, 2, 3 years, we're still going to be fighting. Because the Cameroon knows for sure that we're taking that land back. But in the next, those few years, we'll just need about 10 Ambazonians who have huge capitalization. A time will come when I'll put $500,000 down. 1 million, that let's fight this thing. The US government should hear it. My people must defend themselves. So we are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid to say these things. Because every good businessman has a business plan, a vision. And one of my key responsibilities is to defend my people. To have, I'm saying it publicly. Nobody, even the US Secretary General knows for sure that in his house, if armed robbers are breaking and they're entering and he has a gun, he must stop them from getting to his children. Nobody allows people to kill any member of their families. Nobody allows that. So it is crucial for us to know that all these armed robbers in the diaspora, they say they are country and they bring their bank statement where you work. Want to see your pay slip, see what you earn in a year. If not, bring us your tax, where you file your tax. Let's see your tax returns before you make any noise that you want to collect money from people. Because you don't be there for you make noise where you manage your $800 or something. They want to take money from marrying an IT might get $2,000 or $5,000 or $1,000. Why that man will get that plenty money, not enter the control money because you don't get temptation for thief. You get a small arm robber way, it is struggle for you to pay, you can't know. Mommy will go from McDonald's, can't take money give you. You take the money, go pay your rent first. You can't even say you can't change the set trip. Who appoint you where? Your money should be appointing you. Because the truth is that 99.99% people diaspora, people that they want money, they will hardly want to take money, $50 for some person. Exception, some they will still take away the entire money. But most people they know. That's why I talk many times that have you asked yourselves why we say this area from day one for this revolution? He breed the most transparent man, and all period go now instead contribute. Pay ticket, pay flight, go places. Have you asked yourselves? Because the cash is always there. It's my money. So everybody wants to be a leader, must be a founder. Leaders will not be only collectors. No, you don't. It's not. This is not tax. This thing is not tax. I already talked about refugees in Nigeria in the past, and I was saying that we all have the responsibility to take care of those refugees. And you and I, we know organizations that are helping. We know them. I'm not going to name them. There are a lot of organizations that help refugees. And let me be clear, and I'm very specific. You see people, let me tell you something. You see somebody who take bags of rice or garri and some mattresses, you go with it to a certain camp, and then you put a banner there. That's what SACO does. That is stupidity. Because you already took money, 1.4 million, for my trip to Boya. You had money that you had written. Long ago, you filed with the IRS that you spent on refugees, but you actually had that money. Now, a few people have contributed for your so-called draft. Now you are taking the money to cover up the space. Listen, SACO has to be buying things for refugees every week. Every week. Every week. All they can, because that money was given to you. You are not doing anybody a favor. So you only make yourself ridiculous by putting, why are you putting posters there? Is it not a public kind of system? Why are you putting posters? Money that people contributed. So the responsibility to help the refugees is our collective effort. And not somebody taking money that we have contributed. You go and give refugees every week. All of you, all those armed robbers in the SACO camp, you are supposed to be selling things to refugees because we had given you this money more than 2 years ago. You stole this money, invested it, put some in bitcoins, and so on and so forth. Now remove the money and begin to give those refugees. It is clear. So we remain very focused on our fight. And nobody should be afraid. Those who have my numbers, they have my number, all my numbers. And you know, we see ourselves on WhatsApp status and stuff. That is where I mostly carry my activities. And partly, there is no time to come on Facebook again, and you will not see me do that. There's just a lot that's going on. From next week, we'll talk more about what we're doing, the business we're launching, and all of those things. And I'll take maybe 5 minutes to tell you a little bit of stuff about the consultancy. We can help you grow wealth like you've never known before. Let me just give you a small example before I close this live show, which I'm going to do in the next few minutes. I was talking with some of my students, because other people I'm lecturing already on this. And I asked one of them that, if they give you 20,000 right now, 30,000 block, what will you do? Say, oh no, I'll buy plot for Cameroon, and then or something, and then you keep the plot, start you on work money, then afterwards I go build my house. That's what he answered. And 99% of people who leave Africa or who leave Southern Cameroon or Cameroon at the time and come to America or go to the diaspora, their focus is the same. Their first $10,000, $20,000 they want to buy the land. And most of them do this, they driving force for the land is divided into 50, 50, 50. That's what the force of really needing the land is most often lesser than the force to impress people. But this is what I told them. If you take the $30,000, instead spread it in the business account over 1 year, you can imagine the maturity of your human capital and the trust banks will be having on you. Somebody who takes his own 30,000, opens a business account, start growing it, which I'm going to teach you pro, extends this over 5 months, 6 months, 8 months, and then goes to the second year because there's a maturity period for banks to trust you in America for business accounts. And that person could have a lot of benefits from the bank, including huge loans. And the truth is that many people have somewhat some business ideas, but they don't have the capital. But your first capital is your human capital, your discipline. You have your $10,000, you go to a club, you go and buy Moet, 2-3 bottles of Moet because somebody is popping Moet. You come back, your money has gone down to probably 5,000 or 8,000. Before you pay your rent and your bills, you are down back to 5,000. You keep one and the same cycle. I've been in this country for 6 years. Those who know me, when I go to bars, I drink. My drink is no more than $3 or $5. It's not because I didn't have the money, because I needed to grow my capital in a way where I can do some things and people start complaining and bringing conspiracy, and that's what's happening, and it's always going to happen like that. So we're going to talk all of these things. That's why take the advantage, whether you're in Canada, anywhere in the world, enroll in my business school, in my business consultancy class, and you'll be surprised anywhere if you apply my strategy, it's going to work 100%. I can assure you 100% that it worked for me, it can work for you. Listen, we are building deals. How much have we spent building it? We have a car rental we're launching, we have a consultant, we have a lot of businesses we're running. So I told my friends that, listen, you know the problem? I want to take my investment huger than anybody imagined so that people are making noise. Because when I buy one car, well, before the first time I bought a car, I display just one because I actually have the 15 cars, most of them parked here behind my house. So when I display one car with my logo, they say, oh, now that money, then I came and told them, listen, go and ask your money, those who collected that. I'm not a member of that in the capacity of managing finance. I only use my platform like I did with other projects. And I said, listen, you can do this. And I said, if you have any issue, go there and ask for your recovery. Go to your card, call your bank, and hey, listen, take this money out. It's not going to affect me because no $1 came to me and the money is still there on the website. I'm just a floor member with that. I don't discuss any financial issue. I only monitor. I don't touch. And that is what makes me different from most of you people who call yourself leaders in the revolution where you only want to steal from the people. So, I said to myself, okay, now because one month they said that, I just put all the 15 cars, most of the cars out there, so that they understand that the kind of capital that you used to acquire those kind of equipment, it can neither be from the Ambazonian revolution or the Cameroon government cannot even give you $1 billion of that kind of money. You're going to see more when we launch on the 27th. So keep your head up, keep your focus. You are in America, you are in Canada. Mark Zuckerberg is in America. He created his own business for $200. His business is Facebook Inc. Google is Google LLC. Apple is Apple Inc. Amazon Inc. Those people don't have magic. If they made it, we can make it. All right, so stay focused and don't listen to people who make noise. Bring your business plan. We'll be able to fund it with ideas. We'll be able to help you secure some money to do a couple of things, including for my earn. All right, so please stay focused. Those of you who are just coming now, some of you are watching me. You've passed through Mexico. You've entered this country. Listen. Your first thing, if you have a small debt in Africa, try to pay. Nobody should give you pressure to buy land. You don't need no land now in the next 10 years. Because in the next 10 years, you are not stabilized in this country. So when you come, most of them want to buy land back home because they want their neighbors to say, oh, Nana Sowe, go don't buy land. No, that has never been my focus. You should be driven by your plans and specific ambition, private to yourself and the success of your internal organization other than public opinion. Public opinion does not drive your business, internal business plan. It drives your customer service to expand your business. So those are the things that people get confused. You come here, you are just how many years? Some people send container back home, they are unable to clear it. You start looking for money from credit union left, right. Ask yourselves a simple question. How do you, if it's not stupidity, how do you leave the biggest economy in the world and you're going to invest in Africa, in Cameroon that is unstable, Cameroon that your eyes are not there? You know why I'm launching my first rental company in Maryland? Because I live in Maryland. This is my headquarters. This is where I can walk to my office. I can check my cars. I can go to a recovery. That's when you make your business big. When I went to Manfi, I launched my newspaper in Manfi. I did not go to Yaoundé while I was living in Manfi. Most people live by the idea that they must impress people, and 99.99% of businesses and ventures that have been done on impression mentalities have collapsed. That is why you must join the Dimples Business Consultancy. Maybe in a month, 6 months, 8 months, Forbes magazine or Google, they're going to have my net worth. I've asked them to assess, go to my bank, give them the records, and you'll be surprised. Say, oh, this man is worth up to this number of millions of dollars. Yes, I'm 36 in June. I cannot be a poor man because I work so hard. Why you spend 20 hours quarreling on Facebook, writing conspiracies on WhatsApp? I spend 20 hours, sometimes 21 hours in the day, thinking new strategies, making phone calls, and building my empire. And I take 3 hours to sleep, a few hours, maybe sometimes a few minutes to watch movies, and all of those things. You cannot beat me. There's no way. I cannot work 20 hours, and then you make gossip on WhatsApp for 20 hours. You want to have my kind of money. I'll have investments, and you only have conspiracies. So join the Dimples Business Consultancy. Ask yourself how I bought these cars, how everything happened. I'm in America. I'm not supposed to be a pro man. I live in the United States, and that is it. Take it or leave it. If you follow my strategy, it works. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, they were built for specific purpose, communication, business, and all of those things. But some of you, because of the war, you have changed into defending thieves, defending armed robbers, trying to prove who is president, spreading conspiracy. How do you take something that I don't even read and you are spreading? I'm not your group, you're writing about me. 99% of the things that you guys write, I don't see. 1 minute. Excuse me. Hello? Hello? All right, so I'm very happy that I've taken the last 5 minutes to tell you some of the strategies how you can make money, draw a business plan. I have a business plan for a meat shop here in the United States. Very big plan for a meat shop where there are over 1,000 meat products. So when we get a space, we'll be launching it. And it's easy. If we don't have the much needed capital, we're going to source for capital. But we have it because 6 years in America, over 20 years in business, gave me the leverage to understand where to put my legs. Listen, create a service that works and see what happens. So I want to thank all of you so much. And I thank all of you who consider yourselves my enemy. God bless you, because without you, I'll not be striving to progress more. When I see you talk nonsense about me, if you say, oh, you make noise about my 15 cars, I'm buying 15 more, making it 30, then you get confused. So I keep you on the pedestal. You keep on gossiping while I keep on investing. So at the end of the day, you see, so that's how it works. So there's no way. I've said it in my last live show, but I'm focused on making sure Ambazonians is liberated. I'm also focused on becoming probably the richest man in Africa, or the richest Ambazonian living in the United States, or the richest youth living in Maryland. Something. I must get something as part of that. They should classify me somewhere. And all that is going to culminate to the fact that I must work hard to get this classification. So please, keep on gossiping. Bring all the conspiracies. We're launching 15 cars on the 27th. I need more conspiracies so that in the next 3 months, my rental company will have grown me enough wealth, and I'll be launching another, maybe different branch with 10 cars. And before you know it, in 1 year, I have maybe 250,000 cars. And that's how I'm going to grow to the 4 to many big dealerships in the United States. I stay in this country. Zuckerberg does not have 2 heads. The person who has Ford in Bowie does not have 2 heads. They have the same access to the bank like I have. They have the same. They have their social security is not 10. My own is 9. No, we have the same digits on our social security. You live in Maryland, it's the same number plate, is the same. So why do you think somebody who lives in the same area with you should be so rich and yet you're so poor? Because you simply, first of all, as a black man, the black man thinks, oh, I cannot make it because, I come on out. No, you can make it. You breathe, the same thing, the same signpost. Everybody who is driving, exiting the Beltway to exit 17 is the same exit. They don't have no magic. So thank you so much, and God bless you. And for you, I encourage you, keep the conspiracies. We are going up. All right? So expect to see me from time to time on Facebook, but don't think that I'm going to come and reply to referrals. It's never and ever going to happen. We have more things to think about. God bless you. Keep the faith and keep the fight. Keep defending yourselves. Bye-bye.